This is Spotlight Omaha. Spotlight Omaha is a local podcast that highlights local businesses and influential movers and shakers in the Omaha business community. Spotlight Omaha is brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Now, from the Pyramid Contractor Studios, the host of Spotlight Omaha, Jimmy Allen.
Welcome to the Spotlight Omaha podcast. I'm Angela Cheney. I'm filling in for Jimmy Allen on this particular podcast. So thank you so much for joining us. We take you around the city of Omaha and introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making an impact on our community. The Spotlight Omaha podcast is brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing, which is my company. We help with search engine customization, marketing, social media management, and web design. So if you ever need any help with that, just go to pixelfiremarketing.com. And today I am very pleased to welcome my guest, Alexis Espinoza-Arrubla.
Yes.
Sure, I got that right.
Yes.
With FernVibes. Thank you so much for coming to be my guest today. I very much appreciate it. I know a little bit about your company, obviously, because I got to write an article about it, which was a lot of fun. And I love everything you're doing. So I don't even know where to start because there's so much that you do. Let's go ahead and start by you just giving a little overview of what FernVibes is, as well as the foundation.
Yes.
So we can learn more about what you do.
Oh, sure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm so thrilled.
Yes.
So a little bit of a FernVibes is that it offers moms a holistic approach to managing stress, to regulating our nervous system. And we do it through sound therapy, meditation. We do it through yoga. We do it through other mindfulness-based practices. And when I started that, I also extended my work to have kids mindfulness programs. And so that grew really big. And there was so much need for this program that I decided to separate it.
Okay.
So right now I'm offering a foundation programs for kids so that they can learn self-regulation skills.
Okay.
They can feel more empowered when stressful moments come in. They shouldn't feel confused. We want them to feel empowered.
Yes.
And so I'm working with FernVibes to support moms and with the kids with the foundation.
Okay, wonderful. So tell me what that looks like. Do you go into schools? Do you have a studio? Do you go into people's homes? How do you provide those services?
For the Fern Foundation, I'm going to organizations. So right now I'm offering services to the Jocelyn Art Museum.
Okay.
Forest Fontanelle. I also did a workshop at the Latino Center of Midlands.
Okay.
And I'm constantly working on collaborating with other organizations where I can either provide English or Spanish workshops and or classes.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Well, I do offer some free classes at the Riverfront. So on Mondays, I'm offering free kids run club, a free kids yoga. And it's for kids ages 5 to 12, but younger students are always welcome. It's a lot of fun. So we're learning how to manage stress and we're having fun. And the kids are amazing.
And that's every Monday?
Every Monday.
At what time?
We're there from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And it's going to go all the way until early September.
Okay.
Because of weather reasons.
Absolutely. Oh, how wonderful. So if anyone has kids, keep that in mind. What a fun activity.
Yeah.
And so that's how you do the FernVibes Foundation. So tell me about FernVibes that you do for moms.
Yeah.
How do you provide those services? Where are those at? What does that look like?
Yes. Right now, I'm offering a yoga and sound bath for moms so they can have movement and a little relaxation on. I'm going to be starting on May 29. It's a Thursday, 6 to 7. So it's not on the weekend. So we still have the weekend.
Yes.
And I'm going to be at the Loft on Papillion.
Okay.
It's a beautiful space, really big. So you get to treat yourself to an hour of relaxation.
Oh, wonderful.
In addition to that, I do one-on-ones.
Okay.
Someone wants to come in for sound therapy, meditation, I can guide them through what I call like a little spa hour. As a mom, it's like a micro dosage. And I also offer certifications.
Okay. Tell me more about, so the certifications are in the sound therapy, correct?
Yes.
I would, I mean, I know what it is just because I'm into this kind of stuff, but I would
Yes.
assume a lot of our viewers don't really know what sound
Mhm.
therapy is. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Sound therapy, it's on in the premise that we isolate. So there's music notes that we have. So you might have seen singing bowls, and every singing bowl has a specific note. When we play them, we're isolating the note, and that's what helps the body relax.
Okay.
When we're playing these notes, that that frequency, that vibration, that melody is traveling through the space and through the body itself, helping the body and the mind
Okay.
tap into that inner relaxation space.
Okay.
So in about 30 minutes of that, you feel very, very
Absolutely.
relaxed.
My daughter has done the one where you like stand in the,
Oh, yes.
and then I think that has some
Mhm.
other, is that similar, different?
It's similar. What's happening is the vibrations when we play that ball,
Mm-hmm.
it travels upwards through the body.
Uh-huh.
So that may have a different feeling. You may feel
Okay.
that more on the whole body.
Okay.
We have something called tuning forks that does a similar thing, but that's isolated just to the specific body's area that you
Okay.
might be doing it. But
Okay.
when she's standing on that, it's doing the whole body.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh
she
my
really loved
gosh.
it. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
So we're at the Spotlight Omaha podcast. I'm Angela Cheney here with my guest, Alexis Espinoza-Arrubla with FernVibes, and we're here in the Pyramid Roofing Contracting Studio. So we've talked a little bit about what FernVibes is, what the FernVibes Foundation is. So now let's rewind a little bit. You're not from here, so tell me how you got from New York City to Omaha to start this business.
Sure. I my husband and I really wanted a life where we could have our nervous systems regulated.
Mm-hmm.
Has has always been an important part of our has been a goal of ours.
Okay.
And when we found out about Omaha, we just knew this was going to be our place. We
Okay.
just really did know. I have been visiting Nebraska for about 20 years. My mom lives in Nebraska
Oh,
City, so
okay.
she moved
Wonderful.
here early 2000s.
Okay.
So I've had some history. I've always knew I liked it, but
Mm.
work was always in New York City. And but when we had kids, we knew that was a goal that we wanted.
Okay.
And we worked really hard relocating work, your kids,
Yeah.
your life, but it's worth it.
Yes.
You already see the benefits, the calmer state, how that helps with everything in life.
Mm-hmm.
So we really honor that. We're really grateful for that. So that's what really brought us here. We wanted it a more calmer, rich life, but calmer.
Yes.
Like, that's a thing that we wanted as a goal. So we're happy to have accomplished that.
Wonderful. So what did you and your husband do back in New York City?
So my husband was a police officer
Oh
for the
boy.
NYPD for
Ooh, that
about
is stressful.
7 years.
Ah.
Yes. He loves the closeness that he has with his colleagues. They
Mhm.
have a very good, close knit relationships. They're very so he's done that. Now he's in Lincoln PD. So
Okay.
he loves what he does. It's just that fast paced
Yes.
type of thing. And what I did in New York City was I was a social researcher.
Okay.
And then I became a stay at home mom. And I love that journey.
Yes.
I love that journey. And then I decided to start the work that I do with FernVibes because the pandemic really affected a lot of the families
Absolutely.
in the community.
Absolutely. So tell me what now I already forgot the name.
Yeah.
A what researcher?
Social researcher.
What is a social researcher?
Sure. As a social researcher, I have a master's in science
Okay.
in sociology, specifically that deals with research. So quantitative, qualitative, statistical type of work.
Okay.
And we focused on social issues. So what I primarily focused on researching, and I was your stats girl.
Uh-huh.
I was the girl with the
That
numbers.
type of brain. That's weird that you have that type of brain and now what you're into. Those are usually two different types of brains.
It's fascinating because it allowed me to see the patterns to create
Mm.
policies based on the research. So the focus I had was on youth,
Okay.
on identity formation by looking at socioeconomic
Okay.
categories. And I just loved that work. It was fascinating.
Yeah.
I love looking at patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a work that's always been close to my heart. So I've always been bringing that work into all of what I do. A lot of that information that I have about social behavior, identity formation,
Yes.
how social groups form,
Yes.
their dynamics, the culture. So all of that's always been part and it's the backbone of the mindfulness and relaxation stuff that I do.
Okay. So they do work together, even though it might not seem like it from the outset, but once you explain it,
It
yes, they
does.
work together.
It's your like that balance. Like you need to have some sort of structure.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have some sort of understanding so that when we are interacting with these modalities to promote relaxation, we have that depth, that context.
Mm-hmm.
It may seem very subtle, but it can make the world of difference for some
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah. So your husband's a police officer. Tell me a
Yes.
little bit about your kids.
My kids are, they are 9 and 7.
Okay.
So in that age where they're going from I need mommy's help to
Mm-hmm.
I can do this on my own, but
Yes.
I still get to clean up the mess. So
Of
it's
course.
fun.
Of
It's always
course.
fun.
Mm.
I homeschool them.
Okay.
I homeschool them. It's nature-based type of work that I do with them. I am fascinating by the secular homeschool group communities here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind, loving, and there's a lot of green spaces available to us.
Yes. Yes.
So you always have something to do.
Except for in the winter.
Yes, which we've done.
I mean, there's some indoor, like
Yes,
Lauritsen, there are some options, but a little tougher.
they are tougher.
Yeah.
Yes, you bundle up. So those are the months that we try to do other type of work at home.
Okay.
But yes, that's what I do with them. This morning I was just doing a kids run club with the kids.
Oh, how fun.
So yes.
Little rainy.
It was a little rainy, but we believe all weather is good weather. At
I
least
love that.
for the
It has its purpose.
yes.
Each season has its purpose. Absolutely. So we're here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast in the Pyramid Contracting Studios, and I'm here with Alexis Espinoza-Arrubla. I almost switched them with FernVibes. So we've talked about where you come from. We've talked about what you do. Now I want to talk a little bit about the future. How do you see FernVibes and the FernVibes Foundation growing from here? What are some of your goals in the next few years?
Yes. So my goal is I believe it's always been the same. It's just been the evolution of the work that I do, is to make a social impact. I
Mhm.
see the work that I do being close to my heart as part of a social movement where we can create a community that's regulated, that's calmer.
Yeah.
My focus is primarily the children and the moms
Mhm.
because I feel that they are the unit, like the nucleus of a community, which makes our society.
Yes.
And by nourishing that, it's how I see the future as allowing ourselves to be more compassionate and inclusive and with this mission that I have in my heart, because I wanted to have that ripple effect
Mhm.
of positivity, of seeing neurodivergent children, sensory sensitive children with different eyes.
Yes.
And in terms of moms, I believe that we need more support.
Yeah. That's wonderful. So just to keep doing what you're doing, but continue to reach more and more people.
Yes, and I also want to offer the trainings that I have
Yes.
so that they allow us to have a lot more resources.
Absolutely.
We have we don't, how do I say resources? Because resources are important. We know what we need to do physically for our kids to keep them going.
Right. Yes.
But then we have these moments where we don't know how to regulate. We don't know how to interact. So I always wanted bringing back the academic background that I have to create a resource in my trainings where it feels like, hey, like I feel comfortable with that information. I feel like
Yes.
she gets me.
Yes.
So that's what I'm working towards.
Wonderful. So being involved in the Omaha community now for a few years, what have you gotten involved with here that you really like? What are some of the things that you like to do in the city? I always love talking to people who aren't from here. I'm not from here either. I'm from Lincoln. I
Okay.
mean, I was in Lincoln for the majority of my adulthood, so it's not far, but especially somebody from New York City. What are the things about Omaha that you just love?
It's hard to say, but I'll start with one of the things that I remember when we first, because we did a road trip when we got here. So
Okay.
we got to see coming in all the beautiful things. I really enjoyed the Omaha Riverfront.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a fun space for kids of all abilities. I really enjoyed it. It had so much sensory stimulation for the kids. And then we found the Luminarium, which was fascinating with
Yes.
all
I've not
kinds.
even been there yet.
It's
terrible.
fun now.
Hmm.
There is so much. The kids are learning, and I'm also learning as I'm playing and interacting.
Yes.
That's fascinating. You have all these parks, like the Forest Fun
Mhm.
Snow, like how
Mhm.
friendly it is, how well kept it is.
Mhm.
And we like walking around downtown a lot. My children really like all the candies and all the good
Yes, that's
stuff.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
just so much. People are so kind and
Mhm.
welcoming. And it's a lot. So those are the top things that we always do when we have time. We're like, oh, let's go have fun. There's a lot. There's so much. You have the Jocelyn Art
Yes.
Museum
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
They do a lot for the kids, and on the weekends, there's so
Mhm.
much going on.
And a lot of it's
Yes,
free.
it is.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't know that. I mean, even just going to look at the museum, if you don't go to the special exhibits, it's free,
Yeah,
which is, I think, fascinating.
it
Hmm.
really is. Yeah.
Well, wonderful. So what about different groups involved? I mean, I know we met via is it the Lit Omaha Women's Group, Facebook
Yes.
group? What are some of the other groups that you've gotten involved with, or are there any nonprofit organizations that you support other than your own? What are some of the ways that you've gotten involved other than just your business?
I'm part of two organizations
Okay.
right now. One of them is the Inner Circle, Beth
Yes.
Powers.
Yep. She's wonderful.
She's amazing.
Yes.
I think she was incredibly important during this transition
Mm-hmm.
because
Yes.
I was transitioning, not just relocating, but I was also dividing and making sense of the work that I was doing in a way that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so being part of the Inner Circle through the Omaha Women's Network,
Yes.
I got to meet a lot of support. I was able to make sense. I was a very supportive group. So I'm part of that group.
Okay.
We meet every month.
Yes. Hmm.
I'm part of the Emboldening Network.
Oh, I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's run by two women, Alejandra and Diana.
Mm-hmm.
It's about different groups meeting together. We meet also every other month.
Okay. Wonderful. So it's just it seems like a good fit to get involved in women's groups for you because that is primarily who you work with. So I think that's wonderful. There is a wonderful group of Omaha business owners, women Omaha business owners here in town, and especially ones who really support the smaller startups or the person who's just going into business on their own, and it is such a loving, supportive community. And I'm glad that you found a couple places that fit well for you. So my final question: if somebody wants to get involved, so say someone has a child with some processing issues and wants to get them involved, other than the Run Club, or a mom wants to get involved and hey, I just need to learn some different techniques or get certified in sound therapy or whatever it is. What are the best ways that somebody could get involved with FernVibes?
They can check my website.
Okay.
FernVibes.com.
Okay.
You could always email me, Alexis at FernVibes.com.
Okay.
I am always very quick to help. I also, for the Kids Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
it's a website with a lot of information. You can find my full schedule there where I am all the time. It's fern-foundation.org.
Okay. Perfect. Wonderful. And I lied. I said that was the last question, but I do have one more. Where does the name FernVibes come from?
I'm a runner by trade.
Okay.
That is really where a lot of people say, do you meditate? Are you always in? It's like, no, I'm always in movement. I do not know how not to move.
Yeah.
I was running and I was asking, what is the name? Like, what is the name? And I keep picturing a fern tree.
Mm-hmm.
And trees are very meaningful for me.
Yes.
So I told myself it's fern tree. And then I said, no, it's a fern vibe.
Okay.
And when I looked at the meaning of fern,
yes,
it means hope in our future generations.
Oh, I did not know that.
And I had to go
Perfect.
with it.
That is absolutely perfect. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Alexis, for joining me. I'm so glad that you got to tell Omaha a little bit more about what you do, because your services are so needed. Okay. And it's wonderful to hear more. And so we will have contact information after we have the edited podcast out. There's also an article on Alexis on the We're Local Omaha site, so you can find all the information there so that you can get in touch and learn more about what she does. Thank you so much, Alexis. I appreciate it. And Jimmy will talk to you next time on the Spotlight Omaha podcast. There we go. Easy.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. This was wonderful.
It's so much fun.
And if you ever want to come, so I'm in Rotary, which I think might be an interest. It's a service organization.
Okay.
If you ever want to come visit that, I can send that to you. And then we're involved in like all the chambers, networking groups. So, I mean, if you want to get out and about and meet people, we can take you lots and lots of places.
Okay.
The other person I was going to maybe introduce you to, are you familiar with the Autism Action Partnership?
I might have heard about it.
You didn't hit the end yet. It's still going.
Oh,